press the bell icon on the YouTube app and never miss another update.
Hello children, welcome to first PUC course, first year pre-university course, and today let me give introduction to first PU chemistry part 1. So before going to chemistry, let us start with the class with science. Let us start with a question, what is science? For science, we can give many definitions. It is a systematic study of knowledge, study of environment, study of natural world. So like that, we can give many definitions. So let me give one definition in which that gives what is science. So what is science then? Science is an organized study of various observations, discoveries in order to understand laws of nature. I'll repeat, it is an organized study of various observations, discoveries in order to understand the laws of nature. In the 6th century, Greek philosophers tried to give theoretical model for the behavior of natural world. According to Greek philosophers, world was made up of 4 elementary substances. So world was made up of 4 elementary substances. 4 elementary substances, and 4 elementary substances are differed in 2 properties. One is wet or dry, another one is hot or cold. So 4 elementary substances differed in 2 properties, wet or dry, cold or hot. Now, they assumed that these 4 elementary substances form various substances in the world, in the natural world. Then what are those 4 elementary substances? The 4 elementary substances, first one is fire, second one is air, third one is earth, and the fourth one is water. So according to Greek philosophers, these are the 4 elementary substances from which many substances are formed in natural world, and these elementary substances are differ in properties. So in what way they are differ in properties? Fire is hot and dry, air is hot and wet, okay. Then earth is cold and dry, and water is cold and wet. So definitely these elements are differ in 2 properties, hot, cold, wet, dry. Fire is hot and dry, air is hot and wet, earth is cold and dry, water cold and wet. Now, so this theoretical model able to explain some common observations. So what are those common observations? When water evaporates, it gives vapors, right? When water evaporates, it gives vapors. Simultaneously, there is a conversion of property. When water evaporates, you will get vapors. Vapors is nothing but something, it is nothing but air. It is in the form of air. So that simultaneously the conversion of property takes place from cold wet to hot wet. Vapors are hot and wet. What about water? Cold and wet. So this is the one observation. And the second observation, when wood present on the earth burns, what it gives? It gives a fire. When wood burns, it gives a fire. So that there is a conversion in the property from cold and dry to hot and dry. So these are the common observations made on the basis of theoretical model, but further this theoretical model could not be used to predict new observations and the behavior of the natural world. The reason for that is, now we have various branches of science. We have physics in science, chemistry, mathematics, biology. In biology we have botany, zoology, social science. So many branches are there in science. So in which one of the important branches of science is chemistry. Today I am here to talk about chemistry. So let us move on to the important branch of science is chemistry. Important branch of science, which is chemistry. Let me give what is chemistry now. Chemistry. The word chemistry is derived from Greek word chemia. It is a Greek word chemia and it is prefixed with al. Al is an Arabic prefix, hence the name will be alchemy. Hence the name will be alchemy, and it signifies arts of chemistry. It signifies arts of chemistry. Chemistry is derived from Greek word chemia and prefix. We need to fix this al before chemia. Then this is an Arabic prefix. It becomes alchemy. Alchemy means arts of chemistry. And chemistry as a branch of science which is considered as natural science. Why it is considered as a natural science? Because it is concerned with the natural world. Since it is concerned with the natural world, it is natural science, and it is also experimental science. Chemistry is also experimental science because it includes hypothesis, it includes theory, and it includes various laws. So it includes hypothesis, it includes a theory, and it includes various laws. Hence chemistry, you can call it as experimental science, and it is a natural science because it is very much concerned with the natural world. Now chemistry, its essence helps us to make a prediction about the complexity around us and also about our reality. So chemistry, its essence helps us to predict the complexity around us and also our reality. So that branch of science is nothing but chemistry. But as you know, nowadays chemistry has spread out into 15 various branches. Chemistry has spread out into 15 various branches. What are they? What are the different 15 branches of chemistry? First one, inorganic chemistry. Second, organic chemistry. Third one, physical chemistry. Fourth one, analytical chemistry. Fifth one, industrial chemistry. Sixth one, biochemistry. 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 Seventh one, geochemistry. Eighth one, astrochemistry. Ninth one, solid chemistry. Solid chemistry. So 10th one, nuclear chemistry. 11th one, it is chemical engineering. Chemical engineering. Next one, it is environmental chemistry. Environmental chemistry. Next is agricultural chemistry. 14th, pharmaceutical chemistry. And 15th, last one, food and nutrition chemistry. So there are 15 various branches of chemistry: inorganic chemistry, organic chemistry, physical chemistry, analytical chemistry, industrial chemistry, biochemistry, geochemistry, astrochemistry, solid state chemistry. It is solid state chemistry. Next one is nuclear chemistry, chemical engineering, environmental chemistry, agricultural chemistry, pharmaceutical chemistry, food and nutrition chemistry. So let us consider one by one here. What is inorganic chemistry? What we can study under inorganic chemistry? Inorganic chemistry deals with the study of different elements, compounds, mixtures and many other compounds which are obtained from all the elements other than carbon. So that branch is inorganic chemistry. And you know what do you mean by organic chemistry? Organic chemistry is the study of carbon and compounds of carbon. carbon and compounds of carbon is organic chemistry. What about physical chemistry? It deals with the study of various laws. So, after the study of laws, we can get the physical and chemical properties of given matter. So, to study the physical and chemical properties of given matter, we need to study various laws and principles that can be done under physical chemistry. And analytical chemistry. Analytical chemistry is a special branch of chemistry where we can come across various principles, techniques which are used in the identification of elements present in a given matter, and we can estimate the amount of different elements present in a given matter, and also various techniques that are used to separate different components present in the given matter. And the study of that branch of chemistry is called analytical chemistry. Okay. Now, fifth one is industrial chemistry. The name itself indicates it is concerned with industries. In industries, we know that there is a large production of many substances, including chemicals, right? So, industrial chemistry deals with the study of the manufacture of different substances in a large scale. Example, cement, manufacture of cement, manufacture of glass, manufacture of textiles, different varieties of textiles, manufacture of polymers, soaps, detergents, all these comes under industrial chemistry. Okay. Now, what is biochemistry? Biochemistry is a combination of biology and chemistry. It deals with the study of various reactions that take place in living matter. It is the study of various chemical reactions or the chemical processes or the chemical reactions that occur in living matter. Living matter is nothing but biochemistry. Okay. Now, what is geochemistry? Geochemistry is a branch of chemistry which deals with the study of earth. On earth we have many minerals and also rocks. The study of rocks, its composition and its properties, its structural arrangement. Minerals, study of minerals from which we need to separate ore, particular ore, in order to extract a particular element or the particular metal. Hematite ore, you come across with the hematite ore. Metallurgical operations, that comes under geochemistry. So, geochemistry is the study of earth and other planets, that is geochemistry. Next is astrochemistry. Astrochemistry is the study of matter present in stars and celestial bodies. Astrochemistry is the study of matter present in stars and celestial bodies, is the branch called astrochemistry. What is solid state chemistry? Solid state chemistry is a combination of physics and chemistry because it deals with the study of the physical properties of solid substances. The matter, when they are in a solid state, the study of physical properties and the particle arrangement in a solid state of that matter deals under solid state chemistry. And the next one is nuclear chemistry. Nuclear chemistry is a branch which deals with the study of radioactive elements and many nuclear reactions, nuclear fission and the fusion reactions, and also nuclei of the atom. It study about the nuclei of the atoms of different elements, and all these comes under nuclear chemistry. Next one is chemical engineering. It's a special branch in chemistry. It is a combination of chemistry and engineering because plan is needed for the plantation of industries, the plantation of industries for the manufacture of many chemical substances in a large scale that can be done under chemical engineering. So, what is the quantity of raw materials which is required for the large scale production of the chemical substances or other substances in a large scale, and what is the profit of the manufacture of the different chemical substances and the different processes that comes under chemical engineering. Again, environmental chemistry. You know that under this it is the study of components present in the matter which is present in environment, and it tells about the control, pollution control in our environment. So, environmental chemistry deals with the composition of the atmosphere and contamination of the atmospheric air and control of different types of pollutions, that is water pollution, air pollution, sound pollution, soil pollution. So, all these comes under environmental chemistry. It includes, you studied about greenhouse effect, acid rain, all these comes under environmental chemistry. Next, what is agricultural chemistry? Agricultural chemistry deals with the study of the production of food products in a food products under the controlled condition by adding fertilizers. What is the application of fertilizers? It tells about the fertility of the soil, the chemical processes that takes place in the soil, pest control. All these comes under agricultural chemistry. All these comes under agricultural chemistry. Next one is pharmaceutical chemistry. Pharmaceutical chemistry is a branch of chemistry which deals with the study of chemotherapy. So, chemotherapy means the usage of chemical substances for control the disease causing microorganism, to kill the disease causing microorganisms without affecting the host tissues. So, the pharmaceutical chemistry deals with the study of chemotherapy. Many chemical substances are which are used as drugs or which are used for medicinal purpose in order to control or in order to destroy the disease causing microorganisms. So, such type of mechanisms that can be studied under pharmaceutical chemistry. You come across with the antipyretic, analgesics, anti-malarial drug, so all antiseptics, disinfectants, all these study of all these chemicals as drugs under pharmaceutical chemistry. Next one is food and nutrition chemistry. So, under this branch it deals with the study of the processes that takes place in our food system and what is the nutrition value in our daily diet, and what is the food preservatives, about the food preservatives and their adverse effect. All these mechanisms is studied under food and nutrition chemistry. Now, when the chemistry has spread out into this 15 various branches, now we can say that chemistry has not retained as a pure chemistry. When it is not retained as a pure chemistry, it is need to study chemistry. It is need to study chemistry as interdisciplinary subject. So, we need to study. So, it is need to study chemistry as an interdisciplinary subject. Why chemistry is an interdisciplinary subject? Because now the chemistry has not remained as pure chemistry. It has spread out into 15 various branches, and because of that reason, we need to study chemistry as interdisciplinary subject. It is related with physics, it is related with biology, it is related with astronomy, it is related with engineering. So all these and environmental science and food and nutrition science, therefore it is need to study chemistry as an interdisciplinary subject. Clear? Now whatever we are studying chemistry as an interdisciplinary subject. Now let us move on to the definition of chemistry. And what is chemistry then? So what is chemistry? Let us define chemistry now. So, how to define chemistry now? It's a branch of science which deals with the study of occurrence, manufacture, properties, structure and uses of matter. So, chemistry is defined as branch of science which deals with the study of occurrence, manufacture, properties, structure and uses of matter. So, occurrence, manufacture, properties, structure and uses of matter. What is matter? Anything which has mass and occupies space is called matter. Now, we have different types of matter. Let me give. Our universe is made up of two components, One is matter, another one is energy. And as I said, matter is nothing but anything which occupies space and has some mass. Then what is energy? So here the universe is made up of two components, matter and energy. Matter and energy are interconvertible in nature. The conversion of matter to energy, that we can see the conversion of matter to energy, but we cannot see the conversion of energy to matter. So let me give the classification of matter here. As I said, our universe is made up of two components, energy and matter. Energy and matter, and these two are interconvertible in nature. Now, matter we can classify on the basis of physical classification and the chemical classification. So this is physical classification. So in physical classification we have solids, liquids, gases, plasma and Bose-Einstein condensate, that is BEC. So solid state, liquid state, gaseous state of matter is based on three factors here. One is based on the arrangement of particles. Second one is thermal energy associated with the state of matter. And the third one is intermolecular force of attraction between the particles. On the basis of these three, we can classify matter into solids, liquids and the gases. Plasma is the fourth state of a matter. Plasma is the fourth state of a matter, and it forms only at a very high temperature of around 5000 degrees centigrade. So, plasma state is formed at a very high temperature of around 5000 degrees centigrade, and it is an highly ionized gases. It is composed of highly ionized gases and almost equal number of negative and positive ions. And plasma is considered as an important component of stars, including sun. That is the fourth state of matter. It is present at extremely high temperature of around 5000 degrees centigrade. Then the fifth state of a matter is called Bose-Einstein condensate. This state of a matter present at the end of temperature scale. It is present at the end of temperature scale at a step above, one step above absolute 0 Kelvin. Absolute 0 Kelvin means it is minus 273.15 degrees centigrade. So this state is occurs at a step above absolute 0 Kelvin, that is one step above 273.15 minus 273.15 degree Celsius. So that is that state of a matter which occurs at this condition is the fifth state of matter. It occurs at a temperature at the end of the temperature scale a step above the absolute 0 Kelvin. Absolute 0 Kelvin is nothing but minus 273.15 degrees Celsius. One step above this temperature, just to imagine where it appears. So, fifth state of a matter. Therefore, so at present, at our condition in our environment, we are considered only three states of matter, because plasma is present mainly at a very high temperature of 5000 degrees centigrade, and it occurs at extremely at the end of the temperature scale, that is at absolute 0 Kelvin. So these are the 5 states of matter under physical classification. Now let me give the chemical classification. Chemical classification. So in chemical classification, we can classify it into 3 types, that is 2 types, pure substances and mixtures. Pure substances and mixtures. Pure substances are further classified into 2 types, elements and compounds. Elements and compounds. Now let me write the flow chart like this. Let me write it here. So chemical classification of matter. So pure substance, pure substances and mixtures. Pure substances are further classified as elements and compounds and elements. I'll write compounds here and elements here. Elements. Okay. Now compounds are further classified into 2 types, inorganic, organic. organic compounds, inorganic compounds. Okay. Compounds are classified into two types, inorganic compounds, organic compounds. Now, elements are classified into three types. What are those? Metals, non-metals, and metalloids. So, metals, non-metals, and metalloids. See here, elements are further classified into three types, metals, non-metals, and metalloids. Now, mixtures are further classified into two types. What are those? Homogeneous and heterogeneous. Homogeneous, heterogeneous mixtures. Now, this flowchart is very important for you. So, you can study this classification of matter, physical and chemical classification of matter in the first unit of your first PU syllabus. Now, chemical classification under pure substances and the mixtures. Pure substances are further classified into two types, compounds and the elements. Compounds are further classified into inorganic compounds and organic compounds. Elements are further classified into three types, metals, non-metals, and the metalloids. So, total 118 elements, out of which metals are 94 and non-metals 7. So, metals are 94, non-metals are 17 and metalloids are 7. So, remember 94 are metals, 17 are non-metals and 7 are metalloids out of 118 elements. And further, out of 118 elements, 92 are naturally occurring elements, and the remaining 26 are synthetic. One. And again, out of 118 elements, about 105 are solids and 2 elements are liquids. You know what are those? Bromine and mercury. And how many left? 118. 105 are solids, 2 are liquids, and 11 elements are gaseous in nature. 11 elements are gases. So, this is about the classification of matter as a physical classification and a chemical classification. In a physical classification, we have solid state, liquid, and a gaseous state. Fourth state of a matter is plasma. Fifth state is Bose-Einstein condensate. So, plasma state occurs at extremely high temperature of around 5000 degrees centigrade. Bose-Einstein condensate that occurs at end of the temperature scale, that is at an absolute 0 Kelvin temperature, that is one step above minus 273.15 degrees Celsius. That is the occurrence of fifth state of a matter. Now, matter is classified under chemical classification as pure substances and the mixtures. Pure substances further classified into compounds and elements. Compounds are further classified into inorganic and organic compounds. Elements are further classified as metals, non-metals, and metalloids. And mixtures are further classified into two types, homogeneous and heterogeneous mixtures. And out of 118 elements, 105 elements are solids, 2 are liquids, and 11 are gases. And metals are 94, non-metals are 17 and metalloids are 7. And again the naturally occurring elements are 92 and the remaining are the synthetic elements. So this is about the classification of matter, because the chemistry is a branch of science which deals with the study of occurrence, manufacture and the properties, structure and uses of that particular matter, and this is the classification. So you can study this in detail in a first unit of your first PU syllabus, that is some basic concepts of chemistry. So let me move on to the important one here is elements. Elements again containing sub-particles. As we know that atoms and the molecules. What is an atom? What is an atom? Atom is a smallest particle of an element that take part in a chemical reaction and it possesses properties of that particular element. So that is about the atom. Atom is the smallest particle of an element that take part in a chemical reactions and having properties of elements, and remember, which is not capable of independent existence. That is very, very important about the atom. So which is not capable of independent existence. But what about molecules then? So molecules are nothing but the smallest particles of a matter which take part in a chemical reaction and which is made up of 2 or more atoms of same element or the different element. But the difference is that molecule is capable of independent existence. Atom, which is not capable of independent existence, but molecule which is capable of independent existence, means it exists in the form of molecule, but in the form of an atom it is not capable of exists independently in the form of atom, because H2 is a molecule of hydrogen that exists. H2 exists, but the hydrogen atom is not capable to exist in an atmospheric condition. So hydrogen atom does not exist, hydrogen molecule exists. So nitrogen molecule N2 exists, but N does not exist under ordinary condition. So that is the difference between atom and a molecule. So let us move on to in the next class, let us discuss something about the atomic mass, molecular mass and the symbols of these elements. So I will continue in the next class. Thank you.